Hi there, it's John, November the 16th, early in the morning, having a cup of coffee, and I thought I'd take a look at some of the headlines today, as I often do, and I usually do this time of the day. And today, I think instead of focusing on one or two things, I'm going to give you some of the headlines that popped up this morning regarding Canada, the clown show that is Canada. And I could probably do this for a whole hour because things are so messed up in this country. So let me just tell you right off the bat that I'm not a fan of Canada. I was born here. I live in Alberta, and I'd like to see Alberta break away and separate from the rest of the country. I think we do better off on our own. So the first story is this, written by Brian Lilly of the Toronto Sun. Falling loonie and weak economy hurting average Canadians. Loonie trades at 70 cents for the first time in years. Food prices going up for families. Now, if you're living in the United States, you just went through an election. The economy important to you as well there as it is around the world, but your economy is doing better than Canada. Our prices are ridiculous. The cost of living is getting worse and worse as Canadians fall farther and farther behind. Prices are going up faster than paychecks. And I heard that an expert says that our dollar could fall to 62 cents against the US dollar, which drive prices up for everything. Oil prices are dropping as well. Our only customer for oil really in the world is the United States. If we had more customers, we could sell our oil for more, but we can't because our government won't allow us to do it, basically. Second, John Ivison, National Post, Canada is rolling out the red carpet for radical Islam. Western democracies are not pushing back on violent Muslims who seek to dismantle our way of life. Well, yes, it's happening in most Western countries. I have a saying, Islamists do not integrate, they infiltrate, and this is happening more and more. And we have useful idiots in our cities that march pretty much weekly regarding the Gaza situation. Things are getting scary. One person has predicted, an expert says, that Europe will fall to Islam by the next century. So it's got about 65, 70 years left. National Post, I apologize unequivocally. Boissonnault says he was not clear about his ties to Indigenous ancestry. Now, this is Randy Boissonnault. He's an MP in Edmonton, and he's been claiming that he's Indigenous, very much like Elizabeth Warren, or as people call her in the United States, Pocahontas. But he has said that he has been an Indigenous person for many years now. First it was Cree, and now it's Métis. So he's apologized about this. Now, this is the same Randy who started up a medical supply business just prior to COVID with a friend of his. Then he got reelected as MP, and he was getting text from his buddy talking about Randy, and he was raking in millions of dollars in government contracts, allegedly, while he was the employment minister for the government, which is not good at all. Ethically, very, very bad in a conflict of interest. Now, Boissonnault, one of only two MPs in my province here that are liberal. The other one is named George Chahal. He's here in Calgary. And during one of the elections a few years ago, he was caught pulling the pamphlets of his competitors off of the porches of homes. He got caught on video doing this. They call him the porch pirate. I have a saying, and I have another saying here, and it's you can't spell liberal without L-I-and-E. Up next, here's one for you. Court upholds decision to allow child sex abuser to practice law. The Law Society of Ontario has repeatedly tried to bar the lawyer from practicing and plans to seek a stay while they appeal. So this guy is a self-confessed child abuser, but he's going to be a lawyer in Ontario. Now, you can't say his name because they're trying to protect his children from the pain and agony of knowing their old man is a sex abuser. I think this goes along with a lot what's going in society here, although things might change with the man in Washington now. But there's a new phrase, youth-attracted people. And this is the words that the far left and the gender ideologists are now using for pedophiles. Youth-attracted people, you'll see that pop up quite a bit, but this is actually happening. A child sex abuser becoming a lawyer in Ontario. I'm laughing about it, but it is disgusting. The Toronto District School Board, this is from True North, requests nearly $22 million to construct a new decolonized and fully indigenized school. Now, apparently they've got a school right now, but they say that the current structure is too emblematic of an indigenous residential school. So they want to tear it down and spend $22 million taxpayer dollars to build a brand new one. Now, this is part of a theme in a lot of Western countries. I know New Zealand's having an issue with this right now where their Indigenous people, they basically shake down the Canadian taxpayers over and over and over again for millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. It's in the billions now for sure, and it never stops. They want in Canada what's called reconciliation. I always say there will never be reconciliation in Canada because the grift would have to end. Now, here's something that kind of has a double-edged sword here, okay? Trump's border czar raises concerns over terror risk from Canada, warns Ottawa of tough conversations ahead. Now, you'll know that Tom Homan is the new border czar in the United States, and he is one tough SOB, and he's concerned about people coming across the border from Canada into the United States. So he wants Canada to crack down on what's going on along the border. Now, as good as this could be for the United States, it also could be good for Canada because the Trudeau government allows people to just cross over into Canada. They put them up in hotels over here, and the people never leave, and they're breaking into the country. Basically, they are illegal aliens who are committing a crime first thing coming into the country. So these are just a few of the insane things that are happening in Canada. And as I said, I could probably do this for a whole hour because it's such a mess here. Canada is very close to an election, but it can't come fast enough. Canadians are hurting, and it gets worse every day. We're hoping that in October there will be an election in Canada, and Pierre Poilievre, the Conservative leader, will be our new Prime Minister. Thanks for watching. See you next time.